Assalamualaikum and very good morning towards our respective panel, Mr. Muhammad Fuad bin Abdul Karim and Mr. Suzy Mat Nuruddin. Today, I will present about internet addictions among students in UiTM Seremban 3. My name is Nur Syafawati binti Sharum and my partner name is Nur Hazika binti Arifin. And our supervisor name is Mr. Muhammad Zulhilmi bin Muhammad Yunus.
Alright, so we proceed to the first presentation, which is the research background. The research background contains our dependent variable and also independent variable. Dependent variable is the internet addiction, and the independent variable is the excessive use of the internet, the behavior of the student, the influence of student experience, and also the environment. The purpose of this study is also to know the internet addiction among students in UiTM Seremban 3. Next, we will proceed to the problem statement in which the internet addiction has become a real concern among the Malaysian adolescent and has reached an alarming rate. This is showing by 72% of 18.6 million of internet users in the country are aged between 7 to 35. Not only that, the internet addiction also has become a worldwide public health concern, as this is because when the internet addiction user use the internet without the control or limitation, it will damage their health.
This is our research objective. Firstly, to measure the level of internet addictions among students in UiTM Seremban 3. Secondly, to examine the excessive use of internet towards internet addictions. Thirdly, to measure the behavior of students towards internet addictions. Fourthly, to identify the influence of students' experience towards internet addictions. Lastly, to recognize the environment towards internet addictions. This is our research questions. As you can see, our research question is the reflections towards the research objective that I have stated before.
Alright, next we will proceed to the conceptual framework. As you can see, we have one dependent variable, which is internet addiction, and 4 independent variable, which is excessive use of internet, the behavior of the student, the influence of the student experience, and the environment. Therefore, the finding has matched with the previous study done by Nikolov 2012, where excessive use of internet is a part of factor that lead to the internet addictions. As mentioned, this is our hypothesis study, where we have 8 hypothesis study and 2 each of hypothesis study for each relationship.
As for our research methodology, firstly, research design. We are choosing quantitative method and cross-sectional survey in order to collect data, and it will be respond to all the study based on the goals at the times given. For the level of analysis, student in UiTM Seremban 3 perspectives toward the research that will be conducted. For sample size, there are 357 students among UiTM Seremban 3. For sampling technique, this research study are using the convenience and purposive sampling technique. For data measurement, the variable will be used Likert scales, which ranging from 1, which is strongly disagree, to 5, which is strongly disagree. For data collection, there will be 6 sections, which is A until F. For section A, there are demographic data of the respondents. Section B is internet addiction. Section C is the intention to the excessive use of internet. For section D, factor that affects behavior of the internet user. For section E, internet user perceptions of the influences. And lastly, section F is social and physical environment of internet user. Lastly, data analysis. Data analysis is we are using descriptive analysis and Pearson chi-square in order to applying to complete the explorations of the data collections. This is our finding. As you can see, this is our demographic profile. Based on the gender, female shows more percentage than male, which is 51.4%. For the age range, 18 until 20 years old is the majority respondent for our study, which is 71.1. The current undertaking is bachelor degree, which has 52.9%. For the faculty, FSPPP is the majority respondent, which has 40%. And the last one for the current semester, semester 6 shows the most respondent for this study, which has 23.9%.
Alright, so let's proceed to the hypothesis testing result, as the first main finding is to examine the excessive use of internet towards the internet addiction, as we have employed the Pearson correlation analysis by the value of R equal to 0.609 and P equal to 0.000. Therefore, HO1 are accepted and rejected HA1. Next is to examine the behavior of the student towards the internet addictions. We also employ the Pearson correlation analysis by the value of R equal to 0.357 and P equal to 0.000. Therefore, HO2 are accepted and rejected HA2. Thirdly, we need to examine the influence of student experience toward the internet addiction. We also use the same analysis, which is Pearson correlation, by the value of R equal to 0.226 and P equal to 0.000. Therefore, HO3 are accepted and has rejected HA3. Last but not least is to examine the environment toward the internet addiction. Pearson correlation analysis has been used by the value of R equal to 0.247 and P equal to 0.000. Therefore, HO4 are rejected, are accepted and has rejected the HA4. Next is research recommendation. Research recommendation contain of three, which is social support, structure of terminology, and also the appropriate culture. Alright, so for the first one is the social support. Social support give a large impact to the internet addiction users, such as example, social support from family, university and government. The three essential rules in addressing the problem that experiencing by internet addiction is very important. Based on the research, family should know their children's needs and should able to spend their quality time with their children. This is because the family known as the closest person, and by that the parents should be able to guide and observe how the children behavior or respond toward the internet addiction. Secondly is the structure of terminology, where is according to Cash et al., the efficient program need to be implemented in order to address the internet addiction issue. The research program, which known as the Internet Addiction Recovery Program, has helped the people that were facing the internet addiction problem. The research program also measuring of internet gaming, the treatment of video game addiction. Not only that, research program also training people to explore and truly understand their real problem and to shape their internet addiction problems. The program also will evaluate and treat co-occurring disease that affect a reasonable quality of life by keeping out any medical problem. Last but not least is the appropriate culture, which is education. As we can see that some of the people that suffer from the internet addiction may not have knowledge regarding on how to stop or cope with their internet addiction withdrawal. After that, the absence of the suitable education or internet use of fundamental principle also has been risk factor for the growth of the internet addiction. Thus, it was proposed that the student life would have been easier if the internet usage education has been influenced since a young adulthood.
This is our research limitation. For the first limitation is limited sample. Generally, it can be understand how convenient the outcome of the study for a wider group of people, where there are a tendency of problem which functional to a very limited populations. As we know that our research is only limited to only one university, which is UiTM Seremban 3, where for the future research, I think the researcher should run and expand the research sampling location and population to other university. I think it will be the researcher to obtain an outcome with high accuracy. For the second limitations, common method variance. I think this this method, the element will affect the respondent decision towards the questions, as there is a potential of biasness where there can be the same person who answer the questions. And for answer the questions for the future study, the future researcher should conduct the study by using multi-rater method, maybe towards the future respondent, in order to avoid any biasness. For the last limitation is quantitative approach. This answer is determined by the value of Likert scale, which is 1 until 5, which is 1 is strongly disagree and 5 as a strongly agree. The answer this answer is objective or does not count personal point of view. So I think for the future suggestion, the researcher should use other method of approach in getting answer of the survey, as one of the approach of method is by using interviewing, observe, or other qualitative method. By using this method, it actually can give the researcher more answer that more accurate and might represent actual outcome in this generalized form. For the conclusions, this research main aim was to examine the relationship between excessive use of internet, the behavior of students, influence of student experience and environments towards the internet addictions in UiTM Seremban 3. The university needs to know how crucial is this problem among the students in order to develop a whole range of new initiatives to help in reducing this problem. As for this study, I think it has contributed the new knowledge towards the university to identify the factor that influences the student to be internet addictions. Based on this also, the university can take precaution actions in order to helping to reduce the problems and try to help reducing the numbers of internet addiction students in UiTM Seremban 3. Thank you.